very glad to be here with you. I would like to present to you my presentation on the counting of community seals with the use of drones in 2020. This work was performed based on the materials that were given to us by Alexander Trofimov. He's with Anofriyev Alexander. He is here with me, and I can give him the floor if necessary. Let's begin with the description of geography. Pильтун is the largest bay in the northeast of Sakhalin. It is a very important area for the summer feeding of seals. This territory is large. It is half closed and separated from the Sea of Okhotsk. The depths are not very big. The average is between 1 and 2 meters. And this is a very good place for seals to feed in the summertime. These are the types of seals that you can find in this area. You can see 3 different species. You can see bearded seals and ringed seals, as well as ordinary seals, eared seals. We have seen a lot of mention of the research of seals in Pильтун. You can see a list of different publications. And in most cases, the surveys and observations were made from this special site from the tower using binoculars. This method, in spite of some advantages, because you don't need to have specialized equipment, you don't need to have highly experienced people, it has a lot of disadvantages at the same time, because the area that is being observed is not very big, and there may be a lot of errors during the observation. So we decided try and use a different methodology. A moment, please. We used a different methodology, which is based on the standards confirmed by the Helsinki Commission on the counting of seals in the Baltic Sea. We used this methodology by changing the technical part. Instead of the plane, we used a UAV, a drone. This made the survey much cheaper. In order to prove the efficiency of our methodology, we conducted a research in 2020. This research was carried out in 2020 in summer. We have set a number of objectives for the research effort. We needed to look at the numbers and compare the numbers to those that were registered in previous years. Here on this picture, you can see the seasonal maximum that we were able to get. The counting was made with the use of a drone. We approached at the altitude of 75 meters. All surveys were conducted at approximately the same time in favorable weather conditions. Whenever there was a high wind, it was not possible to continue the survey. And just to prevent some questions, all the surveys were approved by the local authorities. The videos have a very high resolution, and it is possible to identify individual objects. We divided videos into still frames, as you can see here on this picture. We counted separately those animals that were found on shore and those that were found in the water. We also tried to count separately different species. We were able to find out that it is possible to use drones for such surveys, that there are a lot of advantages because it is not very expensive and we don't need a lot of people to do that. However, there is a dependence on the technical equipment and weather conditions, but also you need qualified personnel to conduct the actual counting. The results of our surveys can be seen in this table, and the maximum numbers were found in August, which is confirmed by the previous year's results, because the maximum in August is used in order to determine the overall population count. We compared our data to the data from previous years. Based on the count results, the overall number of seals on the shore and in the water was between 0 and 536. From 0 to 1,512 altogether, and 1,304 on the shore. The maximum did not reach the figures of last year or the previous years, which may have been proof of the decrease in the population. The high efficiency of counting effort with the use of a drone makes it a very promising method. According to our estimates, if we can use the methods of previous years as well as the drone method, we could improve the accuracy of our counts. Thank you very much, and I'm ready to take your questions. Vladimir, please. Thank you for an interesting presentation. My question is this. On the pictures that you shown to us of the UAV pictures, you have seen big groups of animals, but also individual spots, as if there was another rookery close by. So those small spots, were these stones or were these pups? What was that? I'm just interested to know. I'll try to answer this question. I'm Alexander Anofriev, and I was taking care of the videos. I think what you have found there are actually seagulls. Okay, thank you very much. I can see there's another question. Yes, we have another raised hand. Sergei Starodimov. Hello. What about the response of the seals to the drone? Did they respond somehow? What was the reaction? Because unfortunately, we have seen an increase in the number of tourists, and it is possible that in the future there will be a lot of drones used. So it would be interesting to see how the seals responded. What do you say about this? Hello. According to my observations, the height at which you can safely observe the seals is 75 meters, especially if you use the drones with the soundproof or no sound equipment. However, With the ordinary drones, you can't approach that close. Valoshina Inna, why video? Why not photographs? Well, the thing is that if you make photographs, then you have to put together different photographs to see a full picture. If you have video, then you can just make stills, and it is much more convenient. We did make photographs as well, but it is not as efficient. Well, then I have a question, if I may. Could you tell us how exactly did you do the calculations? What kind of software you used, or did you count them visually? How did you make the calculations? We used very simple primitive technologies. I started recording when we approached the seals. Then we approached them at approximately 7 kilometers per hour. And then I cut the video into stills, in still photographs, and then did the count. So if you have print screens, if you have still photographs, then you can easily make the count. So everything's basically manually. We didn't use any specific software. Maybe next time we'll try to use something more sophisticated, something specialized in actual counting. I'm just trying to find out, did you mark those seals that you have counted? Well, when you use a still photograph, every time you count the seal, you just put a dot on top. Thank you very much. Well, what I can add here is that in terms of numbers, I think I can envisage a question that first we had very little, and then all of a sudden 1,500 animals. You can find such a peak on the data from previous years. In previous years, 2017, 2018, 2019, you could see a big surge in numbers around August. So I think if we had more opportunities to continue this work, I think we can say that all of our methods are confirmed by the previous year's results. But how can you explain this surge in numbers? Pyotr Permякov and Alexei Trukim did their research there. They explained that at that time there's a lot of fish. In June, there's a minor surge because there is salmon in the area. And then the huge surge in August is related to the coming of dog salmon. Have you used a drone? Well, have you seen any specific behavior patterns? Were they feeding the pups, for example? Yes, we do have some video evidence of seals fighting a killer whale. And this is related to a surge in the numbers of seals over a very short period of time. And it is highly likely that dog salmon comes in, and seals are trying to catch as much dog salmon as possible.